Last month, a blowout occurred on an oil rig drilling in deep water off the Gulf of Mexico. 11 people lost their lives, and an environmental calamity is now unfolding in the Gulf as oil gushes from the well and threatens the coast. We're here today to begin the process of understanding what went wrong and what we need to do to prevent future catastrophes. The investigation is at its early stage, but already we have learned some key facts. BP, one of the world's largest oil companies, assured Congress and the public that it could operate safely in deep water and that a major oil spill was next to impossible. We now know those assurances were wrong.
Thomas Daughter, the United Human Nation, and Plaquemine is where we have a lot of our tribal citizens living right now. And with the way that the oil slick is progressing toward that coastline, we're trying to get an armada together with BP and wildlife and fisheries and all the other industries about trying to protect the delicate estuaries that we have in these areas, because a lot of our tribal members make their living from these estuaries by harvesting crabs, shrimp, oysters, fishing and all this along that area. Fish kill is what they try to justify or say, you know, well, look at the amount of fish got killed and all that, so it's not really that devastating. But yet, you know, the crabs don't float, shrimp don't float, and the oysters don't float, so there's no really knowing until you get out there and start fishing these estuaries. Right now is a vulnerable time because the shrimp are coming in and lay eggs. And if this oil sheen comes in and they can't get oxygen and it stops the oxygen, water from being nourished with the oxygen, it'll kill them. So in turn, that would limit our fishermen their liability, their way of making a living. It's bad for Breton Sound, the Chandelier Isles, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida for right now, because if the wind keeps going like it is, these people are going to be suffering the brunt of the oil coming on shore. But make no bones that we're also going to be suffering because a lot of our industry leaves out that area.
My name is Vlaho Mijekovic. I fish out of the Point Lahash Marina. The fresh water and the oil is killing our oysters out there. If it's one thing, it's the other thing. They pump in the fresh water to keep the oil out. The fresh water's there right now, the oil's coming, so the majority of the oysters are dead already from the fresh water, the diversions. So you can see some of them dead. Last time I was out there, all this is dying, look. The spat and all that's dying. The little oysters. They can't make it. There's too much fresh water. They're shocking them right now with all the fresh water. They're shooting out. It's all fresh kills out there. It's terrible. They pump in fresh water to keep the oil from coming in, and that's kind of hurting the stuff out there. Everything's kind of on the run. The oysters can't run, so they're dying.
An oyster live off the silk and everything off the ground that floats back and forth with the tide. And he got to have that tide, that oxygen in the water. It's a very delicate seafood, and if you take it out of his habitat or mess with it the wrong way, he gonna die. Well, it get back to our way of life, you know what I mean, what it costs, and I don't like it because I think the government is playing politics where they should be looking out for the local fishermen. So now you didn't come here and mess with our whole way of life and talking about our tax return. Or do we file taxes? I think it's wrong. When you could try to buy every scientist they got, or pay off the city of New Orleans to advertise seafood, or this city. I'm gonna put this in. The city of New Orleans got Lake Pontchartrain, not Lake Bone, Lake Pontchartrain. They have oysters in Lake Pontchartrain, but yet it's closed year in and year out. They test the water, they tell you it's good and everything else. But the city of New Orleans don't want you dredging it. They control it. But how you gonna come from the city, gonna get millions of dollars to advertise seafood that don't have nothing to do with the city no more? If anybody should be getting that money, people here in Blackman Parish, in Venice, Hopedale, you know, these are the places where the seafood coming in at. I know I was gonna work so many months out of the year. I know I was gonna make an X amount of dollars, you know, and if it wasn't the oyster, it was the shrimp. I know I was gonna do something. But BP money? That's misery money. You know? Yeah, they called me for a job. Washing clothes. Washing clothes for the workers that's working for BP. Down in Venice. That's what they called me. I don't remember filling out no application.
Halliburton, one of the world's largest oil service companies, says that it had secured the well through a procedure called cementing and that the well had passed a key pressure test. But we now know this is an incomplete account. The well did pass positive pressure tests, but there is evidence that it may not have passed crucial negative pressure tests. According to a senior BP official, significant pressure discrepancies were observed in at least 2 of these tests, which were conducted just hours before the explosion. Transocean, one of the world's largest operator of drilling rigs, says it has no reason to believe that the rig's fail-safe device, called a blowout preventer, was not fully operational. But we have learned from Cameron, the manufacturer of the blowout preventer, that the device had a leak in a crucial hydraulic system and a defectively configured ram. And we know there are major questions about the effectiveness of BP's response to the spill. The company said it could manage a spill of 250,000 barrels a day, yet it's struggling to cope with this blowout, which is releasing only 5,000 to 25,000 barrels a day. The more I learn about this accident, the more concerned I become. This catastrophe appears to have been caused by a calamitous series of equipment and operational failures. If the largest oil and oil service companies in the world had been more careful, 11 lives might have been saved and our coastlines protected.
We're getting ready to go out and clean up the oil.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What are you guys gonna do?
Clean up the oil?
You're gonna clean up the oil. You're working for BP?
Yeah. And then they closed all the shipping places, so they kick all the boats coming in. Not working. Yeah. I work on the dock, and then no shrimp come in, so I don't work. This is gonna affect our community because this is all we know. Most of the time we come over here, and this is the only job we get because we don't know too much English or anything like that. So this is basically all we know.
How do you feel about having to work for the people that's responsible for the spill?
I don't got no comment for that. I don't want to say anything bad, so.
Nếu mà BP không có gọi chú đi làm vậy đó, cái kế hoạch gì mà cho hiện tại cho cái tương lai tới đây?
I don't know how I do. I don't know. I don't know. Because I have both. I take care both. I work both. If PB they not call me, okay, I nothing to do.
Nó nói về cái tinh thần của mình như thế nào sau cái vụ bão này á, vụ dầu lon này á?
Căng thẳng lắm. Tình hình thấy trước mặt là bóng tối rồi, coi như là cái nghề biển này coi như
I'm very stressful. What I see in front of me is just dark days ahead of me. I don't know what's going to happen. Very stressful. Nói về về kinh tế của cộng đồng Việt Nam đây là nó bị ảnh hưởng nhiều nhất.
Ảnh hưởng đa số, coi như là không còn gì nữa. Nếu đóng hồ rồi đâu còn đi đánh đâu được. Tàu chỉ bỏ thôi. Boat trôi away.
Basically, the whole community is rely on the fishing industry. If they shut down the waters and the Gulf Coast has been impacted, everyone here is out of a job, and I don't know what to do with my boat. It's useless if I can't go to shrimp.
Fisheries are already under pressure, and this is just going to put more pressure on it. But BP is taking, I think, some positive steps in the right direction, and I commend them for that. Nobody seems to be able to pinpoint a whole lot on it. You know, the currents in the Gulf is gonna, and the wind will eventually put it somewhere. We'll get it picked up. They're doing their best they can right now, and we just hope for the best and prepare for the worst. The commercial fishing industry, they fight for their lives right now.